People in here.
Now you tighten this so
You
it
just
don't
what?
crank down.
You muted? Okay. Andre. Okay. I got 8 people in now. You got it on?
Look how I'm looking.
Are we? No, I can't hear. Hold on, y'all. We got some help over here trying to get us right, y'all.
You know, you got to get them young folk, pretty much tech savvy.
Can y'all hear us? I don't know if they can hear that.
Put that one on. You'll see what I'm talking about.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay, are we live?
Volume. Let's see. You can't hear it. You can hear it.
You can
Oh,
hear?
all right.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Mic check 1 2. Okay.
Got it.
I didn't know my head was that shiny.
All right, y'all. We coming in. So it's I don't see where it say like I'm live. Like, oh, it's gonna show on there. Yeah. Okay, I don't see it. Okay. How we doing, guys? You quit, Andre? Oh my gosh. We trying to get it together, y'all. All right, we're gonna give him some time to get back so we can have a conversation. So this is delayed. You see that? Okay. All right. Mr. Jones had to
My head was too shiny. My head was too shiny, y'all. I had to get my head right. Have y'all cracking me saying that's a big moon there. That's a full moon sticking up there. All right.
All right, y'all. All right, conversation for the night. Let's see what Mr. Jones got for us.
Well, ever since I stepped on the scene, this is what y'all gonna hear. All right now.
Oh my gosh. Hey, y'all, it is Thursday evening at a little bit past 7 p.m.
Yeah, well, that's a full day's work for most people.
Yes.
So what is your topic for the night?
All right. Let's go. We good.
All right. Y'all need me? Let me know.
Yes,
All right,
Mari.
man.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Let's have a conversation. Question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
All right.
What
Well,
we gonna talk
what's,
about?
what your question is? Because we talk about so much stuff, man. We on the road, and I say, write it down now. I think that'd be a good topic.
Stuff. Yes.
What was the topic?
Topic for the day is catch the ball.
Catch the ball. Oh man,
Catch the ball. Let me silence this.
I learned that from my wife. She would say certain things, and she always tell me, "You didn't catch that," or we'll be in a conversation with people or whatever. They may say, "Oh, I'm not doing so good. My money's short, this and that," and it just, it go over my head. But anyway, later on, after we done left or whatever, she said, "You didn't catch that ball?" I'm like, "What ball? Who threw a ball?" And she would say, "Well, when they said my money is not doing so good and this and that, then they was basically throwing a ball."
Yes.
So my thing is, what ball are you talking about? So what ball are you talking about?
We just gonna talk about how people throw balls during conversation.
A ball is somebody wants something, but they don't want to ask for it, but they throw it to you, And if you go like it's like somebody come up with you, they got a sad looking face and they waiting for you to say, what's wrong with you? You just opened the damn door.
Yes.
So that's throwing the ball. I didn't know that. I'm so gullible about things and always, this nice person, always want to help people and all that stuff. But at the same time, that gets you in a lot of trouble, man. You can be broke, busted in, disgusted, messing with people who are always throwing balls and you catching them. So I'm not trying to catch no balls. So I say, miss me with that.
Sometimes you gotta duck.
Well, I'm at this age now, man, where I didn't got used, abused. You know what? I'm not going to even say, I got used and abused. I allow myself to get caught up in situations where I should have just kept my mouth shut, didn't give no advice or nothing, or just say, wow, sorry to hear that, and just keep it moving. But sometimes being a caring person and a person that want to see people do good, you kind of ask questions and it just invites you right in. And so too bad I had to learn so late in life, because, I'll be 60 soon. So I'm sitting there like, wow, I can't believe that it took me so long to learn it. But trying to teach it to my kids now is something that I would hope they would navigate to and some of the wisdom that we have that they can learn from and take shortcuts for them in life and not to get involved in the things that we kind of fell victim to. We allow ourselves to be victim to because we sometimes open our mouth and insert foot when we should just listen and keep it moving.
Yeah. So let's talk. We have a holiday coming up. We have Easter coming up. Let's talk about, because you and I, we see things a little bit different, and we've learned after all these years on celebrating holidays and birthdays. We don't have no problem with that. We're not, what do you call it? We're not, the people that don't celebrate that. We're not those type of people. We just,
certain religions don't celebrate holidays. I understand. I think.
But celebrating holidays on different days that we always try to.
Well, what I always want to do, I really feel that I don't like to be told what to do, especially by society. The scriptures tell us we in this world, but not of this world. So I'm in this world, but I'm not trying to conform to all these days and holidays that they try to tell you to do. So I want to celebrate Christmas in June. I want to celebrate Halloween as just something to do on other days. I want to mix all my days up and not, be caught up in this, because I think it's just a money grab. All these stores start having all these holidays and all of a sudden they say they're having sales, but they're not having sales. They just boost the prices up, tell you, my wife used to catch me with this one, right? I say, it say 70% off. And she say, Andre, stop it. Look at the small print in the very corner of that down there. It's real small. Up to, she say, there it is, the key. Up to 70% off. And I'm running the store thinking I'm getting 70% off. And it took me a while to get it, but now I got it. Then she say, when you go in the store, go to the clearance section. So it's cool. I learned now, but it's just weird how sometimes you get caught up in all these holidays and all this stuff, and all it is just something that parts you from your money. That's it. We call it a money grab. So I don't get caught up in money grabs. And too bad it took me up to 60 to learn that. But, my kids, I'm trying to teach them, and hopefully if they want to take on all these holidays, fine, it's your choice. But I'm going to give you all the information. It's up to you what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer and all that stuff. No, we'll celebrate Christmas, but we'll do it on our terms. We will celebrate all these different things. If Easter won't be something I celebrate anyway, it'll be something, that I may do for the kids just as a game to hide stuff and they go find it. But I'm not celebrating none of these days, man.
Well, thank God we won't have little kids like that.
And then what's amazing is how we get stuck in all this stuff. And, if you really know what Easter is, what they made Easter into a pagan holiday, then you go right ahead. Fine, that's just my opinion. But look up what Easter is, her name. Find out what it's about. Do your own research on it. You'll find out how it is totally tied in with the resurrection of Christ. And you just get caught up in these things and don't even know it. And then the old folks, like somebody told me this story about this young lady on you guys may have heard it, but I'm gonna tell you, it was like Thanksgiving Day and and the mom had the daughter in the kitchen with her, and she said, you know, give me that ham out the refrigerator. And the daughter went down, you know, she went down in the refrigerator, got the ham out, and she was getting ready to wash the ham and baste it and everything. And the mom said, what are you doing? We got to cut that ham in half. She say, cut it in half. Why? She say, don't worry about why, just cut it in half. She said, but why, Mom? Why are we cutting the ham in half? She said, well, that's what I was taught. She said, but why? So the mom said, look, girl, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. Go ask your grandma. She in the living room. So she went to grandma and she said, Grandma, you know, I took the ham out the refrigerator and I was getting ready to clean it and then, you know, set it up for, go in the oven. And mom told me I need to cut it in half. And grandma was looking at her. She say, well, what's the problem? She say, well, I just want to know why we got to cut the ham in half. So she say, well, you got to cut in half. You know, you can't do that because it gives you bad luck and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, so she say, if you really want to know, ask Big Mama, which is the great grandmama, which is in there laying in the bed, you know. So she went to Big Mama and she asked Big Mama. She said, Big Mama, can I ask you a question? And Big Mama was like, yeah, baby, what is it? She say, well, I was taking the ham out the refrigerator to help Mom get ready for Thanksgiving dinner. And Mom was telling me I need to cut it in half. And she said that, you know, if you don't cut it in half, it can start off, you know, your New Year's bad and all that stuff. And she told me to go to grandma. So I went to grandma and grandma told me that's what she was taught to. And you got to do it. You got to blah, 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 blah. And then she said, grandma told me to go to you. So I came to you. Why do we have to cut the ham in half? So the grandma started laughing and say, girl, y'all still doing that? We had to cut it in half because back then we didn't have big pans. So a lot of times we just follow rituals and things because it's what we were taught without even questioning or asking questions, you know. And I done learned you got to ask questions, man. You got to know why we do what we do and get to the root of it. Because a lot of times you can find yourself following rituals, and the same thing in the church, same thing anywhere and anything. You know, sometimes we get stuck in old ways and traditions and this and that, and you get caught up and don't realize you part of a system that wasn't even designed, you know, to help you in any way. It was just people make do and with the knowledge that they had, or make do with the things that they had to you know, take care of whatever they needed done at that time. So ask questions, man. You know, young folks, don't get mad at them when they ask questions. You know, me, you know, my kids ask too many questions, I'll pop them inside the head. But other than that, you know, if they ask me a question, you know, then I get to the root of it because it was something I was taught. So don't get caught up in what, you know, traditions and things like that. Some traditions are good, but make sure you follow a tradition that is a real tradition that is based on facts, not fiction or what was better for you at that time. Make sure, because things, you know, change, we evolve, we get better, we get smarter, we get more information. So that's one of those things. So all these pagan holidays, I'm not with that, and I'm not with any holidays really anyway. It parts me for my money.
Yeah.
Did I answer that question?
Yes, absolutely.
I probably get a lot of people talking trash, but it's all good.
It's fine. This is our channel. And please, if you're in here, please like the video and subscribe. Hit that bell. We'll appreciate it. We had another conversation earlier this week about LMA song.
LMA?
100.
Oh, 100. I keep saying
100.
50-50.
You keep saying 50-50, but that song it's called 100.
I love that song.
Let's talk about that.
I love that song.
Okay.
All right. This is, you know, in relationships that I hear now, like my son, you know, it's a lot of women who feel like the man should take care of them, you know, and pay everything and all that. And I don't feel like it was that way, you know. And then it's like the man is his money and her money is her money. And you and I wasn't, our relationship never started off like that.
Never.
From the very beginning, I trust you.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe that our relationship started off with trust. I had an old raggedy, beat down Toyota Corolla, and I bought it from a buy here, pay here lot. I was like 18 years old, and I would have to pay weekly. I think it was like what, $50 a week.
$49.
Yeah, $50 a week. All right, $50 a week, and sometimes, and then I would give my check to her, and she would automatically, pay that, and
Well,
plus we were planning to move out.
yeah, well, we met when I was 16, you were 18. So
Yes.
you were working at Burger King,
Yes.
and then I was working at Bojangles.
Yeah, we both were in the restaurant business.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
look where
yeah.
and look where we ended up. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So we used to get paid a little bit of money every week.
Yes. And you used to hold all the money because we were making a plan. Like I told my wife, I said, look,
Yeah.
I'm planning to move out. You can either come with me, jump on my back, and let's go, or I'm just going to leave you in the dust and move on with my life because I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to be somebody. I know I'm going to be somebody big. I know I'm
Yeah.
going to be wealthy. That wealthy part I haven't got there yet, but it's coming. But anyway, so the struggle is real. Anyway, so we jotted this course, and I had a vision of where we were going, and my wife bought into it. So we started saving the money. I started giving her my check every week. She was saving it. And then, that's trust to give somebody a check.
Yeah.
It's love plus trust, And what we did was we saved that money. And when we got to a certain number, then we were able to go leave a deposit for the apartment. She took care of all that. All I had to do was come sign. Me, I was always the type of person that I have a vision. I have ideas on where I want to go with my family, and all I needed was somebody, a partner. And I think that's what relationships boil down to, a partner, a partner, and you better make sure that love is like the foundation of it, far as what's going to keep you together along with your faith and belief in whatever God you have. Okay, I'm not going to get caught up in different religions and gods
Right.
and all that, but you need to have actual foundation that you're going to build on, and you must have a vision, because I don't think any woman should get with a man, any woman should get with a man unless he don't have a vision. Where you taking me? Where we going? And my wife said, yeah, all right, I'm in, and we moved out. But anyway, the song, by Ella May, 100, I love that song because what she is saying is that, I got you. You may have 40 and I got 60. And what she basically is saying is whatever you don't have, I'm going to have the other part. And we're going to make it 100. You may have 20, I'm going to have 80, which shows that it's up and down in the relationship, It is, and hopefully that includes love. It includes money. It includes support. Because in a relationship, everything is up and down here and there. And whenever we had problems in our marriage, anything, is because we were having issues where either one of us wasn't given the percentage that the other person needed where they were short at.
Right.
And I think that song kind of explains something like that. And she just basically saying, I got you. Wherever you weak at, and I know wherever I'm weak at, you got it.
Right.
And it's just one of those things that resonate with me, and I love that song, and it's called 100, and I love that song. And then I like the other song you had with Let Us See, Anything for You.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that song too.
Yeah.
Oh man, Let Us See Anything for You. Oh my gosh, that touched my heart. And life isn't like that much anymore. Everybody's about them and protecting themselves from the other individual. I was in a relationship where it was just like you were just roommates. You have yours, I have mine, and it's like no partnership, no nothing, no vision, no support. When you got two people in the household, one is a doctor, the other one is a construction worker, neither one can help each other with anything. That is nothing like that. That's not even a vision. That's more of two partners in a relationship, where if you call it a relationship, you just, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when you don't have that support on anything that you're doing, it can seem like you by yourself.
Yeah. We don't lie.
So,
Oh yeah, he fine.
so it's just one of those things. And that's my view. I mean,
Yeah.
however you do your thing, you do it.
Yeah.
Whatever, like they say, whatever floats your boat. All right, so you did
Yeah.
that. So that's
We got one more thing to talk about. Well, let's talk about the barnacles. Remember we had the conversation about the barnacles?
Oh, on the boat.
Yeah, the
Boy, you
barnacles.
actually, boy, you know,
Yeah.
see, she one
Yeah.
of those people you can't talk to her
That's
about nothing
yeah.
because she gonna actually
It's
put it.
all dealing
She
with.
gonna put you out there.
It's all dealing with
Well,
communication, marriage, and stuff like that.
well, to me, it's like I'm pretty sure everybody know what barnacles is on the boat. That's more of like those are like little sea creatures, little things that attach themselves to, create the reef out there where the fish swim and all that. Barnacles is like a stone little thing. They kind of come together and they create little round
Look like
homes for themselves.
yeah, like
And the barnacles, like little shells
little
on the boat.
shells. Look like little shells.
If you
Yeah.
see a boat with all these little round things on it, they're barnacles. They attach themselves to any object that's not moving,
That's standing
and that
still.
becomes their home. And sometimes the whole bottom of boats be covered with barnacles, the parts that's in the water, where the barnacles, can live and breathe, and they attach themselves to the boats. Like you go to a marina and you see boats that never move. People live in them, and the barnacles, because the people never move the boat, the barnacles are able to build their home right there on the boat. And sometimes it's hard to get them off. People, when those barnacles attached to it, that's really like concrete to your boat. And they have to pretty much sand the boat down, scrape it, all that, redo the paint, redo everything on it. And that's what happened with us in life. When we become stagnant, we get people attached to us or things attached to us, because as long as you move and those things can't attach, and a lot of times people can't keep up with you. People can't go at the heights you going to, and you just don't want to stay stagnant in life. You just got to keep it moving and keep going, because sometimes you can be stuck and never not forgiving people, not hanging on to grudges, hatred. All those things become barnacles in your life. You become stagnant and they weigh you down, because when you look at a boat that's moving in the water, when it do decide to move, those barnacles are extra weight, and the boat is not steering as good as it should. There's a lot of friction against the boat. It's not moving as smooth. So a lot of times we get caught up, when we stay stagnant with people that just don't mean us any good, or in a dead end job or anything. It can become barnacles in your life. So I think, when people had to say keep it moving, I like that. It can be taken in different ways,
Yeah.
but keep it moving. When I'm walking, going down the sidewalk or anywhere, and somebody come up ask for money, that's a homeless person that I know, like a drug head or something. I'm like, look, man, keep it moving. So I'm gonna tell y'all, keep it moving, man.
Yeah. So it's been this week has been challenging already.
Why you say that?
The weather with the rain, with the just a lot going on this week. What's today? Thursday? It's just been a lot going on. It's been a lot going on.
Well, it's all good. As far as I'm concerned, I'm learning about I watch a lot of Bruce Lee movies, and if you watch some of his some of the things he speak on, he will always have this thing we say, "Be water, my friend. Be water." And I love that saying, because I'm doing my best, and it just bothers me sometimes that I'm at this age now and I'm beginning to like really kind of, be better. And I talk to my kids all the time. When I go to talk to them, they always say, "Nobody don't want no Dr. Phil moment." But anyway, when he say be water, my friends, it's like you can pour water in anything and water takes that shape. And basically it's saying, you can find yourself in circumstances and situations out of your control, and it's best to, be water. And I'm not saying accept it, but when you're in that situation, sometimes you have no choice but to ride out the storm. But be water, be flexible, be movable, be able to adjust. So be water, my friends.
That's deep.
I don't know if that's deep.
That's deep.
It is a conversation that we have.
Yeah, that could go. That could go. Yeah, that's
So.
deep. Well, we just came on for a little bit to, just talk a little bit. We are not doctors or anything like that. We're just a married couple that's been together for 40 plus years.
What they say? Oh, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only.
Oh man, that's to protect yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Somebody go out there and say, "Be water, my friends." Go run in traffic or something, and I'm being water. All right,
Yeah.
you'll be smashed.
We're not doing that. We're
Yeah,
not
I
doing
know.
that.
Don't take my advice.
Yeah. So we appreciate the ones that has come in.
What you had comments?
Yeah.
Oh, what
No,
comments
just
you had?
just a few comments. Yeah.
Oh, well,
So-
you know, to me, I think I will. You know, I didn't have anybody to talk to me about things this way, or maybe the right person to say it the right way. You know, it's like with your kids, you can tell them something, and they don't listen. Like my wife said, I'm good for that. You'll hear something from somebody else, and you'll receive that. But when I tell you, you don't want to listen to what I got to say. So I think it applies. You know, and I think my kids do the same thing. So I didn't have anybody at a young age to really groom me like that. I had people that helped me start my own business. It was a old Jewish white man who helped me start my business. You know, get in the 401k plan at my business at the job that I worked at. It was always people who poured into me. They saw something in me, and I'm glad I was able to listen.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I was able to become an entrepreneur and start my own business. I was one of the only ones in my family that started my own business.
Yeah.
That's something else. That's another
Same
long
here.
story. I'll tell you
Same
guys
here.
about that one day. You know?
But okay, it's our time. We said we're gonna keep it under a certain amount of time. So
Yeah.
look at time. Yeah.
Y'all got to hear the story about how I started my business. I mean, how I become an entrepreneur and all the people that God put in my path to help me along the way.
Yeah.
It's such a journey, and it was a blessing to go back and thank some of those people. Some of them I didn't have numbers any way to contact them, and a few of them may have passed on, because they were like in their 70s back then,
Back
in
then,
the
yeah.
80s when I started my business in 96.
96.
96 when I started my own business, I was what, 29? 29?
You were born in
No, I was 29 years old.
no.
I was 29 when I started Andre's Movement.
Oh,
Wasn't
wow.
I? Yeah, I was 29.
Yeah, getting ready to turn 30. Yes.
Yes.
66 and 96. Yes.
Yes, I was 29, and
Yeah.
and because of that, my kids got their own business.
Yeah.
Both of my boys, one got his business at 20, 18, 19. Other one at 21. My other son, I had him going. He wasn't ready for it, but I pushed him out there too soon because sometimes I could be a little pushy. One thing
Yes.
about me, you tell me about your hopes and dreams, I'm gonna ask you what you waiting for. You better go. My kids feel like I'm kicking them out. No, I'm not kicking you out. Go for it. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
here to help, but go for it. Stop wasting your time. You're young and strong. You got that energy, and you go get it. My
Yeah.
old behind trying to go out there and start a new business out there. I'm get a lot of fear in me. I'm worried about what I might lose, what I hurt myself, all that, and what time I have left to have fun. So hell, you young, you go out there and just experience the fall and get up and try again and all that. Do it while you're young, man. 29 was too old for me, but I did it. Thank the Lord.
Yes.
I tell anybody that come up to me, ask me questions about this and that. I tell them, my wife used to be like, Andre, they kind of do the same thing we doing. I say, look, what's for me is for me. Now, I'm not going to help nobody that's going to move right next door to me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that stupid.
Yeah.
But if it's something I can do to help you, I'm not going to hurt you, but I will help you. And if I don't want to talk to you, I say, miss me with that, man.
Yeah. So that'll be our next conversation, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming in. Make sure you like and subscribe and join this channel. We're just getting started, so we have a lot coming up. All right.
All right.
Thank y'all. Good
Peace
night.
out.
Have a good rest of the week. It's Thursday. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the holiday.
All right. We came in with some music. We're going to leave with it.
Take care. Hit that.